Like if we talk in terms of love relationships, then how many people have a love relationships which is actually mostly based in first chakra
Right.
because they feel, they found a good match with a big bank account, no?
Mm-hmm.
And then many people, maybe mostly men, I don't know, will feel very much love on level of the second chakra because they have somebody which they find very attractive physically, no? And then in third chakra, definitely also to have a important partner, no? With a high standing in society, whether again, by being rich and powerful or by being very, good looking or whatever, being, how you say, hot. Then that is a third chakra kind of love, no? And then the fourth chakra kind of love is the more deeper unconditional love, no? But we can have also fifth chakra love, which is a love for a partner who is very clever, no? Who always has the right answers. That can also be very attractive, no? And we can have a love in sixth chakra also, where we feel our partner is very peaceful and always bringing us that peace, no? And that clarity of seeing, no? In sixth chakra.
Yeah.
Fifth chakra, when it comes with an answer, usually many words are needed. When sixth chakra comes with an answer, only very short thing has to be said and everything is clear. No? So in every chakra we find it. So definitely the chakras and the desires of the chakras offer us a very good way to understand ourselves and other people and our relationships. You know? So it may very well be that you feel from the heart chakra very connected to a person. Or maybe also in second chakra you find them very attractive. And maybe even in fifth chakra, you can have interesting talks about the meaning of life. But in first chakra, maybe it doesn't work at all. Maybe in first chakra, you have somebody who's totally irresponsible, doesn't want to work on one side and likes to spend money on the other. So that'll definitely create a problem. So there must be some kind of match on all chakras, but this match should maybe be seen a little bit as complementary. In that way, we don't have to be same in all these things and in all these desires, but we can help each other there, but a little bit similar is still maybe required. Like maybe the partner is more first chakra dominated than you are, meaning he's more aware of the money issue. Yeah, well, good for you, no? Then you can care a little bit less, since anyhow you care less. No? But some balance will have to be there. If it means your partner is working from early morning till late night, doesn't have a minute for himself, while you are all the time meditating and chanting and painting, and it may not last also, no? A little bit of a balance may need to be there. In second chakra, I would say there also a bit of a similarity is needed, because second chakra is all about taste. So if you have very different taste, then how can you live together? No? Okay, in some areas you may have a different taste, and that's maybe when with a friend you go to see some, I don't know, opera because your partner hates it. No, that is still totally possible. But if you have very different taste in food, that may be more of a problem, because food is something happening several times a day. And if always you have to cook in separate way, very hard. No? Of course, also in sensuality, sexuality, if there the tastes are very different, it's also going to create problems, because You do not always need to do it exactly the way you like it, but you also don't want to always, force yourself to do something which you don't like. No? So that is required, I think. In terms of third chakra, that is mostly related, I think, to the respect which is there or not. No? I mean, if your partner likes to be well known, even, likes to come on TV or, be some well known person and you prefer to stay in the background, I think that is totally possible. And I think many couples are like that. No? Think about the Queen of England and her recently departed husband. No? He also liked to stay in the background. No? No problem. No? But when they are together, then she should forget she is the queen. And you should again be on same level, no? Equal. Equality in a partnership, in a love relationship is so important. The moment that you feel that the other thinks he is better, bigger, that is hard to live with. And usually becomes somehow abusive. It creates a total imbalance in how the couple deals with the different desires and tastes that they have. If one becomes too dominant. In fourth chakra, a different thing is there. And it's interesting to talk about because before, when I talked about love, I mentioned unconditional love, which is something which we can really feel from the self. It is a love without question, indiscriminate, towards even the worst person. But if we are in a love relationship, in a partnership, we can talk about unconditional love. We can to some degree feel unconditional love. But there's a limit somewhere. If the partner starts behaving in a way that totally does not agree with you, then the love may go. Maybe in the beginning not, maybe you'll feel, okay, it's just a phase and you continue loving that person. Then maybe, if it is just a phase, it might pass. But if it takes too long, no, the love will go. The feeling of connection, no, will go. So then we're actually back to another question which was asked about how, not to be defenseless against people misbehaving, where I explained that if you love a person and that person is doing something wrong, then from your love you should try to correct them. And so in that way maybe it can be solved that the love itself is unconditional, but that does not mean that you will not try to correct some behavior which is unacceptable, helping that person to not create any bad karma, for him or herself. So unconditional love does not mean that we never can criticize each other. Sometimes our partner is the one who knows us best, who can tell us things straight out. So then that is also what we have to do, but try at the same time to keep that unconditional love and to also communicate that unconditional love and to attack not the player but the way he is playing, not attack the person but his actions or his words. That then we will have to do. And that is very beautiful, I think, in a relationship, if both see each other as a kind of a mirror, a loving mirror, but a loving mirror which is still a mirror, meaning it does not only show the beautiful things, no, like some magical mirror, I think, in the stories, no, it would always show yourself perfect, no. So no, the love is there, but imperfections can also be pointed out, no. And if that sort of understanding is there, that in a love relationship we can be there to help each other grow, and be frank and honest about these things. Also, maybe then when criticism comes, be able to explain, okay, how did you come by that word or that action? What is behind it? What is at the source of it? Maybe something from an old relationship, maybe from your childhood, whatever, so that it becomes very constructive, the whole relationship, and you can really work on yourself through the help of the other. No? And the love in that way can be unconditional, but still okay. Behavior is not unconditional. Right? And then, okay, love in fifth chakra is not very difficult as long as nobody thinks that he knows everything, no? Some people are like that too. But as long as we are open to other ideas, other points of view, as long as we understand basically that all these words are just concepts, and that when we talk we can prove anything, and have lots of fun in that. But okay, there may be difference of interest, no? And then, yeah. As they say about the large joint families in India, if your husband doesn't like to talk philosophy, maybe his mother does, and she is also living in the same house. No? That is an advantage that they have in a way, with some disadvantages too. But so in our situation, that translates as, okay, some interests may be there which are not shared, then you share it with somebody else, some friend, some other relationship. Sixth chakra, desire. Yeah, that is the one where you have to be careful, as we discussed before, if it is different. No, if in one it is absent, and the other one very much desires it, very much desires peace. No? Then if the partner always is a disturbance of this peace, by, I don't know, making noise, by annoying you when you try to meditate, by creating a drama for no reason, no? There can be many reasons. Then you might become like Rudra, no? Which is a form of Shiva, who becomes angry when he is disturbed in his meditation, and then from his third eye a big fire comes out and burns the other person. That anger, I have felt it, is not to be underestimated. And it is wrong, no? I mean, when I felt that, it was after a time when I was really in a deep retreat and really had very good meditation, very deep meditation, and felt very, very peaceful. But then the moment I got back in Belgium, I was upset at everybody. Because I saw them as, the reason why I lost the peace. Quite rapidly, actually. So we also have to be a little bit humble in that. No? It's not the birds who disturb our peace. No? It's not anybody else who disturb our peace. Only whatever other people are doing, our partner or otherwise, they may, increase the exercise level, make it a little more hard for you to find peace. And so, okay, then you take that, you accept that, and you say, okay. And even if, I don't know, in the morning when you want to meditate, your partner likes to play a bass guitar. Like my son at some point liked to play rap music in the early morning. then you accept. I mean, to some degree, you also have to a little bit fight for that place, for that space, for that peace. Also, don't expect yourself to be able to do just anything there, But whatever cannot be reasonably avoided, you accept as just another exercise, and from there you will grow. And some sadhus, they meditate in the most noisy places, precisely to increase their capability not to listen. Even places I've been where, the ground is shaking from all the traffic around, from trains also. And then still you keep the peace. It's a good exercise. And seventh chakra is beyond desire, so it doesn't matter.